clicked the wrong buttons there. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the TFTPod podcast. For those who don't understand what I just did, which is probably all of you, whenever I start the podcast on my stream deck, I click start recording and then I change the scene and then I unmute my mic. I realized I unmuted my mic before I changed the scene. So I went to go speak and I realized that the screen was still up as my camera starts out of focus. This is a brilliant start. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the TFTPod podcast. I'm your host, Ari Stamatakos. Hope we all is well. It is the last episode of the TFTPod podcast for this season. I was gonna wait maybe till the end, but I thought it's good to start the episode and to address a couple of things. Yes, this will be the last episode of the TFTPod podcast for the season. I'm not going to do an episode next week and to basically just review the Champions League final and that's it. I'm not going to do that, unfortunately. We've got FA Cups reviews, Champions League player final, victory, lost, heartbreaking. We've got a lot to review. And as well as that, this will be... It's going to be really weird saying this. This will be the final episode of the Two Footer Tackle podcast in its current iteration. So... basically, in this current format, which I've done for the last 2.5 years, which is me sitting down in front of this camera, in front of this laptop, with these people behind me, talking about football from the last week, that will be no more. It's not out of anything other than the fact that I would like a new challenge every Monday. I want to try to do something a little bit different, try and expand my horizons. When one door closes, another door opens. A new challenge, this chapter of my life will close, but that doesn't mean I won't still be doing football content. This is still my first love. I didn't spend all this money on this backdrop and all this money on these football kits for nothing. I'm getting my use out of them, I'll tell you that for free. But no, in this current form, in this current iteration, it will be the final episode of the Two Foot Tackle podcast as it is now. Best believe by the start, what I can promise everyone watching and listening, what I will promise is that I will be doing a form of football content in the start of next season. I might take the Euros off and watch that as a football fan and just like not have to work around it. But as in this current format, this will be the final episode of the Two Footer Tackle podcast. But best believe, by the start of next season, I'll be back in some way or another talking about football. So if for whatever reason you enjoy me rambling about football, I will be back before the start of next season. It might not be in this form. It might be in this form, and I might change it up. I might get cold feet on changing it and just return to this. I don't know. But as things stand right now, this will be the final episode in this current form. But I will speak about football for next season and the seasons beyond. On what platform that is, through what medium, I don't know yet. I'm still trying to figure that out, still trying to brainstorm. But yes, that is the elephant out of the way. It's kind of a decision that I've made over the last kind of couple of months, trying to think about it. Need a new challenge, need something different to do, need to explore new horizons, get new challenges, evolve my skills, evolve my presenting and my analysis and all that good stuff. So thank you all very much for joining the ride, joining the ride over the last 2.5 years. If this is your, like I said, I think 100 and I want to say we've done about 150 odd episodes, maybe a little bit under that. Or this is your first, or this is your 20th. Whether you found me through the World Cup, through the Tottenham video that I did a little while ago, through whatever medium, I thank you all for watching over the last couple of over the last year and over the last 2 years, 2.5 years. But yeah, this will be the final episode of this podcast in this format ever. But next season, whether it be under the Two Foot Tackle podcast banner or in a different banner, I will be back speaking about football. And I implore you all, if you haven't, go follow the socials. If you do genuinely want to see me still speak about football, I will be doing it. So follow the socials in the description of YouTube. Follow my socials because I'll give updates there. And follow the podcast socials as well because there'll be more updates there. And then we'll wait and see. But apart from that, it's a bit sad actually saying it like that. It just kind of feels like it's over. It's not. We still got about half an hour to chat absolute rubbish about football. And I haven't written a run sheet. This is the first episode. The first episode, probably maybe barring 2 or 3, where I've done reset pods and I just wanted to chat shit. This is the first episode where I don't have a run sheet. I just wanted to come on here and chat shit and just let go. Not really follow plans, not really follow orders, and just kind of talk shit about football. So yeah, we'll see where this next half an hour, 40 minutes takes us. But yes, follow all the socials. Still subscribe if you can, please. It does mean more than the world. Audio platforms as well, it does mean more than the world. And share it around. I know we'll be taking an extended break and not covering the Euros, but share it around. Still would mean the world. But yes, hope everyone is well regardless. Obviously, for a lot of people, their football fix is dead and buried for the season for a lot of people. Up until the European Championships kicks off in a couple of weeks. It's in a couple of weeks. Middle of June. It's fucking really close. And yeah, and then obviously playoff finals happened, A-League finals happened. We'll speak about that. Should we kick things off with that maybe? I don't know. It broke my heart. It actually broke my heart. And FA Cup final as well. Fit check for today. And I wanted to wear this kit because this was the first... So this is the classic Fiorentina 1999 Nintendo, not the 7-Up. I didn't get the 7-Up kit. I got the Nintendo logo, the Nintendo sponsor Gabriel Batistuta on the back. This was the first kit which I saw and was like, holy shit, that's actually a retro kit that I'm in love with. I bought this kit, was like, oh my god, I love kits. And then I went and bought a shit ton, and that's when my kit obsession started. Hence why I now have about 40 odd football kits in my closet, retro football kits in my closet, which are just there. Retro/current football kits in my closet, which I have and wear weekly. I'm not letting those go to waste because where else am I ever going to wear a 1990 Germany third kit? Do you know what I mean? Like, I've really invested a lot into this, so this won't be... I'll still be around, trust me. But yeah, this is where the kit kind of obsession started. The purple is just unbelievable. The little textures, little lines within the shirt, which probably aren't coming across too well on the camera, is great. Is brilliant. The Nintendo sponsors, classic. The collar is, I'm obsessed. Yeah, it's everything I love about a football shirt in one. The fact of the kind of cult hero status that like Batistuta and kind of mid-90s Serie A has as well. And just it has a lot of cult hero or cult significance, hence why I like it and enjoy it and wear it. But yeah, let's kick things off. Where do we start? Where do we want to start? So this is where kind of I can just speak about whatever. Should we speak about the A-League first? Let's get the elephant out of the room. Melbourne Victory lost to Central Coast 3-1 on the weekend on Saturday night. In the A-League Grand Final, Central Coast back-to-back premiers, back-to-back champions, treble winners this season as well. So, yeah, painful, very painful. It's very unfortunate. The fact of what happened. I'll talk you through the Saturday night, my Saturday. So, I went out to the AFL to the footy. On Saturday afternoon at 1:45, then went out for drinks with a couple of friends of mine through the late afternoon. Went back to a friend of mine's place to watch the footy because his team were playing and it was his house, so naturally he gets priority of the TV, which makes sense. And I watched the game on my phone, which I was more than content with because I was a couple of beers deep at the time, so I didn't really care. Watched it, first half comes and goes, basically nothing happened. On the 50th minute, Jason Guerrier gets a pass across the box and rifles into the top corner. I'm thinking, oh my god, please. Just hold on. Time ticks away. Substitutions were made. And then 91st minute equaliser. Heartbreak. 102nd minute go-ahead goal. And then 120th minute dagger into the heart. Sucks so bad. There's a couple of grand finals. Victory lost a couple of grand finals. I think we lost 4 grand finals or 3 grand finals. I don't remember the penalties. The one in penalties against Sydney, 2010. Don't remember. I know that I was there, but I don't remember anything about it. I remember the 2017 one against Sydney over there. The one on penalties again. I remember that. That was painful. That was very painful. And this one hurts as well because this is probably arguably player for player wise one of the more talented teams that I've seen, and I've said this countless times on this podcast. Um, it's one of the it's one of the more talented teams that I've seen. Zizou, Fornaroli, Falupale, Arzani, Brimmer, even though he's kind of a Ryan Teague. Ryan Teague's so good. Just a lot of talent, especially forward of kind of that forward third, that front third. A lot of talent. And with license, talent can go a long way. And I just feel like tactically this season, there's been a lot of conservative natures and very, very, very much holding back. If my tweet, which is still up, and my immediate reaction to this game, I tweeted about, and they're my true thoughts. Essentially, what I said is, you employ losers, expect losses. Popper is 0-4 now in grand finals. 0-5 in grand finals now. He had 3 under Western Sydney, 1 under Perth. He's 0-5. It was a curse in which we thought, which Victory supporters kind of pushed to the back of their minds, because it was like, but if we get there, anything can happen. We got the talent, blah blah blah. Victory, we're a good club, blah whatever, all that rubbish. Go 1-0 up after a pretty nothing first half. We score a goal. No team really looked like scoring, but we got that go ahead goal, and he went really defensive. Obviously, Central Coast were peppering, and eventually they found the way through. And as soon as extra time happened, I turned to my mate, and I go, "Yeah, there's no way we're winning this." I didn't have any faith. I didn't have any faith against Wellington last week. After what had happened, I thought we were done. So the fact that we pulled it out of the fire then, I just didn't think we were going to do it again. And it was going to be a real kind of hold on, go to penalties and pray. And my heart at that stage could not have taken penalties. Like, I was already an emotional mess at that stage. I was already an emotional a mess at that stage. So the penalties would not have been a good thing for me. Even when it was 2-1, I go, maybe that's actually not a bad thing, the fact that Central Coast scored kind of early, because then they might go onto the back foot and we'll just get the possession and pepper and hopefully something happens. They got that goal. Just such avoidable goals to concede, man. 2 cutbacks. Not cutbacks, but like cutting across goal. Like, just close the space. Just close the space. Just don't let him run. Don't let him cut in. Don't let him make that run. But you later made the run, and they capitalise. And yeah, it was heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. I'm not going to forget this one. This one's going to hurt for a long time, because I don't think I've ever explained my victory my victory fandom. Hardcore for my younger years. Really, really invested, right? Like, they were probably more invested than Chelsea, if not similar, right? And then probably post 2018, 2019, when we started to become really bad, I kind of was still very much intrigued and wanted Victory to win, but kind of did fall away just like a little bit. Didn't go to a game for a couple of years, and then out of COVID, I was like, okay, we need to start. Like, after COVID, I want to get back into it. First season after COVID was pretty good. Then, obviously, after the derby last year, I just kind of withdrew all emotion because that happened. And then this year, I was like, okay, I'm going to force myself to go to every home game I can and go. And I went to, I think, I didn't go to a loss this season. That's a pretty cool record, I guess. I did not see Melbourne Victory loss live. We lost 3 games at home, and I didn't go to any of them. The game against our first loss, I was in Wollongong for that. I was out of the state. The second loss against Central Coast, I think Carlton might have been playing at that time, and that's a more family, dad, brother, other family members go, so that takes priority. And the Western Sydney game, I think, I can't remember why. I think the Victory were playing as well that day, or Carlton playing as well that day. Regardless, I didn't go to a victory loss season, which is pretty cool. That's the first time I could say that, not going to a victory loss for a whole season. And like I remember when we beat Adelaide 2-0 on New Year's Day or whatever it was, on the 30th. I was buzzing, mate. Buzzing. It was unbelievable. Was it like the 30th of something? I think it might be 30th of December or 30th of Jan. We beat Adelaide 2-0 at home. Bruno scored, Zizou scored. And then that night, Chelsea beat Luton. Cole Palmer scored a brace. And I was just like on top of the world. Like I was like, oh my God, this is going unbelievably perfect. Zizou was on fire. Bruno was on fire. The terrace was buzzing. The Amy Park was heaving. Like so good. I was like, oh my God, this is going to be the year we're going to win it. Like everything's there. It just fell away. Didn't it? It just fell away. Massive shame. So many tactical errors, so many wrong decisions. A lot of repercussions will come of it. Bruno's natural regression, as the fact that he's 55 years old, probably makes sense, and there's obviously no hard feelings, but you probably don't go with him as your number one striker next season. A lot of players will probably leave. Brimmer's probably going to leave, which is a shame because he was a Johnny Warren medalist and has just fallen off a little bit. But in saying that, he's not a number 6. I don't know why we played him as a 6 this season. Should have signed a DM. Should have signed a proper DM. Anyways, a couple of other players will probably leave, but like Zizou will stay, Arzani will stay. These players who I've fallen in love with over the last kind of 12 months or 8 months or whatever. The one of the more emotionally attached teams I've been a part of, because even when we won the league in 18, that team like is victory folklore written team, like Thomas in goal and Deng and Negro and Broxham was playing and Donachie and fucking Reece Williams, what a guy. Like Valeri and like Leroy George and like Bessard and Barbarouses and Troisi and that midfield, Milligan until he left halfway through the year. Like that team was good. That team was like emotionally attached. Even the team that we won the league in 15, like Carfala and Finkler and these guys. That was a good team. Dalpierre, that was a good team. But there was something about this team, I don't know why, a little bit more likeable maybe, play with a little bit more flair, maybe not, they didn't play with more flair, but they showed glimpses of, like when Arzani and Zizou would just humiliate defenders by just passing in between them in the corner when we were 1-0 up. And it was just like they were toying with them. That type of feeling gets me like there, like in the heart. It's like, oh my God, I love these boys. So yeah, anyway, like good thing about football is that it happens next year, eh? But yeah, you might not get there next season. I think the team's talented enough. If Popper goes, someone like his Norberg comes in, who knows what happens there. If someone else comes in, I don't know. But yeah, a lot of time to kind of sit back and yeah, things happened this year for victory, which could have gone invincible, could have very easily gone invincible. The MacArthur loss was shit. The Central Coast loss was even worse. But hey, look, shit happens. Hey, congrats to Central Coast, probably the best team all year. Them and Wellington. So I guess it's just deserves that either of those two teams do win it. They fought well all the way to the end. They had a poor start and they fought back. So you can't help but give credit, especially after the mass upheaval they had in the off season last year, losing their coach, losing their striker, losing a lot of players who were pretty key to them. Plus the poor start, they were able to turn things around, and 20,000 plus in Gosford, away bay humming, home bay pretty good as well. Congratulations, yes, yeah, they deserved it. They deserved it. We can't sit here and discredit or just speak about victory because there's two sides, of course. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see where they go next season because it's it's hard to go back to back. It's almost impossible to go back to back to back. So we'll see if some of their players get picked up. We'll see if there's managerial movements if their coach gets poached or whatever. But I think their team is good enough, and I think a lot of them will stay. So they'll be a force to be reckoned with next season as well. So congratulations to them. It was a good advertisement for the league, I think. The pitch invasion after the game, done cordially and done in the right spirits as well, is always something good to kind of look at and be like, okay, so in and amongst all the shit that this league has kind of dished out to their fans across the last couple of years, the fans always do give back to a certain level, and that should be that image of that pitch invasion should be the marketing team should just go into the meeting with the APL board and go, here's this photo, here's this vision, let's put that fucking everywhere. Let's billboards, ads, social media, everything, TikTok, Instagram, fucking everything. Just show that. Be a part of this. Create this. Fuck waking up at 3 a.m. to watch Newcastle, to watch Brighton versus Aston Villa versus Chelsea. Go to your fucking A-League teams. So yeah, there's that. And I guess this kind of translates well into the A-League All-Stars thumping Newcastle 8-0, which I know is the Newcastle Academy team, is the kids. I know. But it's also quite funny considering the fact that Newcastle were here. Newcastle United, everyone loves Newcastle, like all the people who don't like the A-League but love the Prem, Newcastle United, all this shit, blah, 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 and they get smacked 8-0. Although, something that I do want to bring up, because I was seeing a lot of people say, oh my god, of course A-League All-Stars were going to win. Newcastle were playing a bunch of academy players. Blah, 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 blah. The age range of the players that scored. So, like, the ages of players that scored. So, Ben Old scored the first one, who's 21 years old, right? So, yeah, still not. We're not talking 27, 28-year-olds, right? So this is something that I wanted to kind of speak about in a sense. Like the players that played, like Milanovic, born in 2001, he's 20, 21, 22 even, right? So Stamatopoulos is young, if I'm not being mistaken here. He's 25, but still, we're not talking 28, 29-year-olds, 30-year-olds, right? Courtney Perkins young, and also, it wasn't even the best team the A-League All-Stars could fill out because the grand final was played. I reckon half of the team was missing, if we're being honest. Half of the best team was missing. No, Bruno would have played, Zuzi would have played, Teague would have played, half of the Central Coast team would have played for sure, right? So, anyways, I'm fucking whatever. But yeah, I just thought that was quite funny. A lot of people there was that TikTok that Ned's made. Gamble responsibly. On about the interviewing Newcastle fans at the front of the ground, and being like, oh, what did they say? Fucking, Jesus Christ, what did they say? I forgot. I completely forgot. How's that for Got it. There we go. I figured it out. That's horrendous by me. Thank God this is the last episode of this shit. They said, oh my God, now I lost it again. No, I got it. Is all this excitement, there's a big buzz out the front of the ground, is this excitement for the A-League Grand Final, and all the Newcastle fans are like, what's the A-League Grand Final? Who watches the A-League? Fucking have 8. Have 8 goals. 8. That is obscene. That is a lot of goals. That's fucking, imagine 8 goals. 8 goals. It's a lot of goals, man. It's a lot of goals. So yeah, that was good fun. Obviously the women's All Stars as well played against Arsenal, which was a good game as well. Arsenal have a better. The Arsenal women's team have more of a pool than bloody thing. The A-League or the Newcastle United, absolutely, it's insane. It's insane. And then of course Newcastle versus Tottenham as well on the Wednesday. Yeah, on the Wednesday. Newcastle won on pens. Yippity doo! Great. So yeah, that was interesting. I'm happy that's over, by the way. Why are we sending teams to Australia after a month? Like, no, not even after 2 days after playing their final game of the season. It's absurd. Let's just not do that again. Let's not kill our footballers, please. Let's just give them time to recover from a 38 plus game season. Newcastle had Europe. Tottenham didn't have Europe, but they still played, 43 games? 42 games this season? Newcastle would have played close to 50. Like, come on, guys. Fuck me. Let's give these guys a break. And half of the team's going to go to the Euros anyway. Unbelievable. Anyways, it's both ad nauseum. So yeah, that's all for the A-League stuff. I'm really sad about victory. I'm going to buy that pin kit though. Definitely. I need to get on that. What else happened? FA Cup happened. I watched the first half of that and then I fell asleep. Because I was on the Saturday night and intoxicated a little bit. Drink responsibly, kids. The first half was interesting. This is one of the things with FA Cup finals, right? And obviously United won, which was shit for Chelsea because now we're playing Conference League. Can't wait to play in Belarus away on a Friday morning. Yes, unreal. Can't wait to watch Chelsea versus fucking can't wait to watch Chelsea versus don't even know any Conference League teams. Fucking Bate Borisov from Belarus. Yes. Can't wait for that. Anyway, yeah, so United won. And it was one of those things where it was like, you looked at the scoreline without looking at the goals and you think, okay, one of two things has happened. Or you can sit there and go, either one of two things has happened. Either both of these goals have been screamers from the edge of the box, like screamers from like 30 yards, or at least one of them has been a mistake. And that, I don't know who headed that overall take. It might have been Stones. Just like, come on. Well, it was Gvardiol. Yeah, because I remember making a point of that at the time when I was watching it. I go, Gvardiol's been really good, and he's just done that in the FA Cup final. I mean, not that City players cared. I mean, they were laughing after the game, and they've won the FA Cup like 12 times. I don't really think they give a fuck. They're probably still drunk. Which is a shame because I love the FA Cup and I've spoken about it as well previous times on this podcast, how much I love the FA Cup and how much I think how much I think the oversaturation of football has caused the demise of the FA Cup. Because guys, remember, we can send teams to Australia 2 days after the season finishes, but God forbid we have FA Cup replays. God forbid we play another game 3 days later during the season. God forbid. And it's not like we've been doing it for the last 150 years or however long the FA Cup's been going on. But once again, that's besides the point. Once again, because money talks, and Australia spend a lot of money bringing Tottenham and Newcastle and fucking the Arsenal women's team over. So I don't know why the mic's so close to my face. It does sound better in fairness. So, but anyways, that's my rant. Yeah, and the fact that United did that. Sorry. Does Ten Hag stay? Surely, right? Surely he stays. I saw the rumor that apparently he got sacked, but I don't think that's true. That he got sacked before the FA Cup final. I don't think that's true. But you would keep him, right? Surely you keep him because he won a League Cup and finished in the top 4, and then had a injury-riddled league campaign run, and then won the FA Cup in 2 seasons. You can have worse seasons. Managers have had the worst first 2 years and have kept their job. It depends on what they want. Once again, I'm very much of the opinion that the fish rots from the head. If you sack Ten Hag and bring in a new manager with the exact same people around that new manager as are around Ten Hag, it will lead to the same result will happen. So I don't think sacking Ten Hag I don't think sacking or keeping Ten Hag is the kind of be-all and end-all for United, but I think if they do either one of those things without actually making change to the people around him, then it will continuously get worse and will eventually lead to a situation where his job is untenable. But through no fault of his own, because once again, the fish rots from the head, it's a toxic club that is broken from the core. So you need to really fix a lot of things before you sack the manager. But regardless, they played well in the FA Cup final and they won a trophy. They've won 2 trophies in 2 years. That's a pretty good record. It's a pretty good record. Oh yeah, Chelsea sacked Poch as well. I didn't speak of it. That happened in between this time and last week. What are we doing? What are we doing? Seriously, what are we doing? It's the dumbest. It's the dumbest thing. It's the dumbest. I don't care. Like I was anti Poch coming in. I actually said that Ange would have a better season than Poch, and everyone laughed at me. And who's laughing now? Anyways, I didn't want Poch to begin with, but look, he was the manager of my football club, so I back him in, and he actually won 5 out of his last 6 games at the end of the season and got us European football after we were like 10th for the majority of the year. Like, if you're gonna sack him, at least sack him when he's playing like shit. Don't sack him when he's had the best month and a half of his Chelsea tenure to date. It's just mind-boggling decision. And who we get in, God knows. It's not going to be Tuchel. They said no to that already. I've just seen Kieran McKenna's out of the race. He's the only He's the only manager that I recognise out of anyone on the shortlist. Unless we go out and get Zidane or like Mourinho, like it's gonna. I don't think Chelsea fans are gonna like the whoever we're gonna get. To be fair, I don't think Chelsea fans will like who we're gonna, regardless of who we get, unless it's Tuchel. I would I would genuinely piss myself laughing if we managed to get Mourinho. Like, I would piss myself laughing. It would be the funniest thing because he would be really good sporadically over a year. Like, over a year, he would have a total of 3 good months. But those months will be sporadically like split across 3 to 4 game periods across the season. So we might start the season hot and win 4 out of 4 games, and everyone's thinking, "Fuck Mourinho, he's turning back the clock, he's rolling back the years," and then we'll lose like our next 6, or we won't win in 5 or something like that. And then like over Christmas, we'll win 3 out of our 4 games. And we'll take 10 points off 12 available points in 4 games, where everyone's like, "Oh, we're back," and then we'll end the season really well. But in between all those 3 periods, we lose like 90% of our games, and we finish 6th. Like, that's what will happen, and everyone will just be blinded by the charisma. In fairness, he's very old now and doesn't really have the same je ne sais quoi that he once did when he got hired in 2005. That is so long ago. When he was hired, he was Chelsea manager in 2004. Do you know how long ago that is? I was 2 months old when he got the job. 2 months old when he got the job. 3 months old when he got the job. How insane is that? And now if he comes back, I'll piss myself. But he won't. In reality, he won't. So yeah, there's that. I don't know who we're gonna get. I don't really care at this point, to be honest. Like, I don't care. I'm so emotionally withdrawn. Not emotionally withdrawn, because I still care and I still want us to win. But I'm so just like, anything they do now is a piss take. So like, I'm just along for the ride, taking the piss, having a laugh. Oh, who we're going to bring in? Kieran McKenna. We're going to sack him after 6 days and then bring in Poch again and then sack him after 3 weeks, because probably that will happen. We've had 4 managers in 2 years. We've had 4 managers in 2 years. And when we subsequently appoint our next coach, we will have 5 managers in the space of 12 months. No, in the space of 24 months. 5 managers in the space of 24 months. It's just absurd. Like, it's just absurd. We would have the most managers over a 24-month period than any other club in the Premier League, surely. I haven't been keeping up to date with what like Leicester, Ipswich, and Leeds and Southampton have done with their managers. Yes, Southampton beat Leeds in the playoff final. I watched none of that, in fairness, because beIN Sport's not on Fox on KO anymore, so, and I'm not paying for beIN Sport, so I didn't watch it. It's a shame, because beIN Sport was like the reliable. Jeez, I've gone on tangents this episode. You can tell it's the last one. beIN Sports was the real sort of the channel you flick on at 10 to 11 at night, 10:50, 11:20, 11:30 at night, and they'll show like League One highlights, and you're like, fuck yeah, Marseille versus Nice from 2018, fuck yeah, let's watch that. Or I'll show like a real obscure DFB Pokal Cup game, like it'd be like FC Braunschweig versus Bayer Leverkusen from like 2014. You're like, fuck yeah, let's watch this. Let's watch fucking, who was running, Sebastian Kiesling run around. Did he play for them? I don't know. Yeah, that's why beIN Sport was great. and now they put it behind a different paywall to the paywall that I've infiltrated. So now I don't have it, which is a shame. So yeah, Ipswich, Leicester, and Leeds. No, Southampton went up. Who do I think will be? I hope Ipswich are good. I hope Ipswich are good because we haven't had them in the league for yonks, and I hope they're good. Leeds and Southampton, or Leicester and Southampton, I couldn't care less for, because we've had them. We've had our fun with them, which is why I was ashamed to see Luton go down. Luton go down was a bit of a shame because I want fresh teams in the Prem. I want either fresh teams or like historically valued teams. So I'm happy Forest is still in. We'd love to see Birmingham in, even though they went down to League One. Just a mind-baffling sort of turn of events, sacking their coach and then getting relegated. Unbelievable business acumen there. That's great. What else happened? Yeah, Poch got sacked. Unreal. Apparently, I read this thing that Guardiola is going to leave at the end of next season. Don't believe that. Don't believe that. I think Pep Guardiola wants to win every single trophy 15 times over. So he's just going to go, like, he's like a Terminator. He just wins everything. It's not fair. Arnie Slot, new coach of Liverpool. He looks like Michael Van Gerwen. There's my analysis. What else Premier League wise? I don't really know. That's all, I think. A-League wise, anything else to touch on? South Melbourne versus Preston happened like 2 weeks ago. In the Australia Cup. That was insane. 6,500 people. 6,500 people apparently going to some like local football ground. And flares and atmosphere and exciting football. Harry Sawyer's free kick in the top corner was fucking superb. Look, as a man of Greek heritage, very, very, very pleased with the result. But regardless, it was a good advertisement for the National Second Division, and if it's anything like that, sign me up. I will go to South Melbourne games. I'll go to any games, if anything. But yeah, that's going to be interesting to cover that when that's eventually a thing. So yeah, get around NPL clubs as well, considering the A-League's done. And if you still want your football fix, go to NPL clubs because they run through the winter. They run on proper schedules. So yeah, obviously Australia Cup will start up, but we're still kind of going through the motions as well. So yeah, I think that's all. For today's episode. Final episode. Pretty weird. I've just rambled my way through it. Thank you all very much for watching again. I'll do the proper goodbyes now. It's a goodbye for now. It's not a goodbye forever. I'll put it that way. It's not a goodbye for now. It's goodbye. It's not a goodbye forever. It's a goodbye for now. I can't guarantee a lot of things. What I can guarantee is that I will be speaking about football for the next season and beyond. In what form, medium, I don't know yet. But I will be. So check out my socials, follow my socials to be updated with those things. Follow the Two Foot Tackle podcast socials as well, because they might change and go through rebrands, and you would need to follow those for relevant information. Thank you all very much for joining me on this journey. It's pretty weird the fact that I'm going to say that I'm stopping this podcast, but I think it's the right time for me to. It's the right time for me to put the full stop at the end of this sentence and move on to a new paragraph. Doesn't mean the paragraph will be different. It doesn't mean that I haven't liked this last sentence. It just means it's time for a new challenge, I think. I appreciate every single one of you who've watched over the years. I really, really do. It's made it all worthwhile when I see people message and say that they love it, and when they comment and say that they love it, when they like, when they subscribe. It does really, truly mean the world. So thank you all very much. This is, if you've watched 1 episode, 2 episodes, 100, once again, I value you all equally as much. So yeah, goodbye for now, not forever. We'll give a couple of how do we call it? Predictions? Let's call it predictions. So the Champions League final, Borussia Dortmund win that. I hope that happens. I think Arsenal win the Premier League next season. I think Liverpool win the Champions League next season. I think England will win the Euros. I think Bayer Leverkusen will win the Bundesliga again. I think Real Madrid will win the La Liga. I think Inter will win the Serie A again. They'll go back to back. And I think PSG will win League One. And I think Melbourne Victory will win the A-League. Is that all? That's all. Thank you all very much for watching the final episode of the TFTPod podcast in this iteration. Thank you for joining me on this journey. It does mean more than the world. I don't know how to end this properly. Goodbye for now, but not forever. Stay well. Stay safe, everyone. Goodbye.